not peeking, are you, dear?
No, sir. Hello.
Oh, hello. Is Miss Corcoran in?
Yes, won't you come in?
Thank you.
I'm Susan Holden. I'm 5 years old. I live at 220 Regency Drive.
Well,
What's your name?
I'm Tim Quain. I have a small apartment in West Hills, I hope.
Do you live with your grandfather?
No.
I do.
Where's Miss Corcoran?
Are you Corky's fellow?
Well, we've been out together before, but...
Oh, I know that, but are you her fellow?
Happy birthday, Susan dear, Susan dear, Susan dear. Happy birthday.
Susan. What's the matter?
Why, Tim, I didn't know you were here.
I'm sorry,
Oh, a baritone, join in. We'll shake hands later. Come on. Happy birthday, Susan dear, Susan dear, Susan dear. Happy birthday, Susan dear, our fair lady. Good, darling. Now make your wish. All right. Now blow them all out. Don't you worry, honey. You'll get your wish. I'll see to it. Now, you cut the first slice, dear. My name's Jeffrey Holden.
How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm sorry, Tim. I was so surprised to see you that...
I'm a little early.
He's Corky's fellow.
Well, we're very happy to have him. I see you've encountered my granddaughter already.
I sure have. She gave me the complete facts about her life in one sentence.
Oh, I taught her to say that to the police in case she got lost or something.
She's batting 1,000. I'm a policeman.
You're an officer?
Oh, a special investigator.
Oh, what are you investigating?
Are you a policeman like Flatfoot Hogan?
Not that good.
Didn't you even ever catch a crook?
Not all by myself.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, darling, how would you like to get ready for bed and take your cake in with you?
Fine.
Ah. Oh.
Can I take my presents to bed, Grandpa?
Well, do you think they'll all fit?
Oh, yes.
Well, all right, then you run along and I'll be in a minute.
I'll bring my cake too, Susan.
Here, take that.
Be with you in a minute, Tim.
She certainly is. I was just agreeing with you that Corky's a very attractive young lady.
Oh, yes.
Come in the library, Mr. Quain. Sit down, won't you? Oh, since you're not on duty, could I interest you in a little brandy?
Good.
Fine. I've got something here that I'm a little bit proud of. It goes back almost as far as the memory of man. I bought it from a friend of mine, an unscrupulous character. Used to be a bootlegger. Couldn't stand the gaff of honest labor.
Not still bootlegging.
Oh, no. He's a highway robber now. $30 a bottle.
To Susan.
Thank you. To Susan. God bless her.
Corky tells me that you're about all the parents Susan has.
Yes, that's right. You see, Tim, my son and his wife were killed in an automobile accident, and Susan came to me. I don't mind telling you it was a frightening prospect, adjusting myself to family life again after so many years of living alone. But that was before I realized what a little girl could bring into your life. And it was before Corky became her nurse. You know, Corky's wonderful with her. She's a remarkable girl. They're a great pair, those two. I often wonder what they're up to while I'm away.
Oh, you travel?
Yeah, quite a bit. Mostly up and down the coast.
I love to knock around. Places like Yellowstone, Grand Canyon, New Orleans. Ever been to New Orleans during the Mardi Gras?
New Orleans and the Mardi Gras. Oh, but as a matter of fact, not for a good many years. That was a reminiscent enthusiasm. So you're a special investigator, huh?
That's right.
Well, what do you investigate?
Confidence men, swindlers, the bunco squad.
Oh, say, that must be interesting, isn't it?
All set, Tim.
Well, I've enjoyed it very much, Mr. Holden.
Not at all, Tim. Now that you know the way, I hope you'll come often. I'll be out on a little trip tomorrow, but if I'm not here, Susan can entertain you, or perhaps Miss Corcoran.
Thanks, I'd like that.
Oh, excuse me. Hello? Yeah, it's for me.
Good night, Mr. Holden.
Good night. Good night, Tim. Remember, I'll see you soon.
Right.
Yeah. Hello, Sam. Well, of course. I got my bag packed already.
Mr. Tim,
Yes.
can you make an awful face?
Well, on such short notice?
A real horrible face?
You mean like this?
I can make a realer, horribler face than that. I'm a little devil.
Oh, you certainly are. Now, come on. Breasty or no breasty, you've got to go to bed.
Good night, Mr. Tim.
Good night, Susan.
Grandpa'll be right in.
Uh-huh.
Where'd you get the mask?
Mr. Holden brought it back from New Orleans just the other day.
Oh.
Well, how's my birthday girl? Well, honey, what's all this?
My presents.
Well, darling, do you think you can sleep with all this booty in bed with you?
Uh-huh. I can sleep gooder.
Well, all right, just for tonight. Now, come on. You ready for inspection?
Yes, sir?
All right. Turn them over, your hands. Now, your ears. Both of them. Teeth. Let's see. That's good. Inspection's passed. Now, squirm down into bed, darling. By golly, you made it. Oh, well.
Can I have a dog?
You mean a real dog, darling?
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't think they'd let us keep one in the apartment.
Where can you have one?
Oh, in the country.
Like on a farm where I can have a pony?
Oh, no, that's not a bad idea. But you can't have it tonight, darling. So you, come on, get into bed now. Say, have you said your prayers?
Uh-huh. I said them with Corky. I love Corky. She's going to take me to school the day before Tuesday.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I wish you could take me.
Oh, I wish I could too, dear. But I've got to go out of town again.
Where are you going?
San Francisco.
Can I go?
Well, not this trip. But I'll tell you what you can do. You can go to sleep right now, huh? Give me a big kiss, Angel. That's my girl. Good night. Sleep well, darling. Hey. Oh, now, honey, I think we better keep this one right here on the table, huh?
Oh, Grandpa.
Now you won't miss it, darling. Look, it's just like a bedside radio. And I'll tell you what, I'll bet you can't go to sleep before that stops playing. Now, I'll bet you. Try it now. I'll try it. Now, off go the lights. Good night, darling.
Gee, I'd better get home. You know, it was very nice of Mr. Holden to stay with Susan. He really isn't my night off at all.
I like the old boy. You think a great deal of him, don't you?
He's one of the nicest men I've ever known.
What do you know about him?
Nothing much, really.
That's what charm does for a man. You know all about me, our first date, my age, job, politics.
If you knew anything about women, you'd be flattered.
I'm flattered. Where's it going this trip?
San Francisco.
Friend, take me to the Biltmore Hotel, will you, please?
Jeff.
Greetings, Sam, my boy.
Welcome, Brother Holden. I couldn't be happier to see you.
Well, I hope that your summons means that the fruit is ripe.
For the picking. You know Starling and Eccles?
It's a very reputable firm.
Well, you see the thorn in their side. Eccentric millionaires stopping at the Biltmore. Jolly old spender. But my heart is set on one...
Now, Sam, you forget that I wrote that book. Now, you just run along and shake the tree. I'll be here.
I won't be long.
All right.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Havermeyer.
Or is it a good morning, Mr. Eccles?
Well, Mr. Havermeyer, if you...
I don't get it. I didn't ask you to buy the crown jewels of the King of Siam. I just want this one small pearl matched.
Mr. Havermeyer, we sold you a unique pearl in a ring. We couldn't know your wife was going to demand a pair of earrings.
Well, you know it now. And since I know my wife, I can assure you she's going to get them. I know it's hard to match, but price is no object.
Mr. Havermeyer, I assure you...
Did you hire that special man for the job? I told you I'd pay him. Wire Paris, London, Johannesburg, any place the pearls come from.
Oh, Mr. Starling. Mr. Havermeyer, you know our Mr. Starling?
I just want to assure you, Mr.
How are
Havermeyer,
you?
that
Did you get it? Oh, you didn't, eh?
if it can't be done, Starling and Eccles will do it.
Well, find it and buy it. Just don't stand there and talk about it. I'll pay anything for it, up to $1,000.
$1,000 for a pearl worth 100. Why, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Not when it's in cash, Mr. Eccles. Not when it's in cash.
We're closed. Come in.
Thank you. I'm sorry.
Not at all.
I'd like to see some money clips, please.
We'll be glad to help you.
We are past closing. Good evening.
Good evening. Something wrong, gentlemen?
No, your stick pin, that's an interesting pearl.
Thank you. It is, isn't it? Have you any clips?
Oh, yes, of course, Mr.
Vale, Emery Vale.
Well,
Well, they're not worn much anymore, but it's an art piece, isn't it?
yes, in a way.
Would you like to see it?
Yes, thank you. Thanks. Mr. Vale, would you consider selling this pearl?
Oh, I'd rather give it away than sell it. You see, this was given to me by Henrik Van Clevers when he died.
Oh, Van Cleefers. Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, no one of any great importance, but a very dear friend. He had a pair of unusual pearl studs. Used them in his dress shirt, don't you know? And when he died, he willed one to each of his sidekicks in the army. I had mine made into this pin, and Jack had his made into... Oh, heavens, Jack, I have...
It really isn't very valuable, maybe $200, but we would like very much to buy from you, Mr. Vale. For our purpose, it would be worth $500.
$500? Well, that is a great deal more than it's worth. I think you gentlemen must have an ulterior motive.
Well, I suppose we all have ulterior motives in business, don't we?
Perhaps so. Oh, I'm very sorry, gentlemen. It's a matter of sentiment. You understand.
Sometimes, Mr. Vale, maybe there is a price even on sentiment.
Well, in this case, no, I'm sorry.
Just supposing. How much would you say?
Would $3,000 put an end to the supposing? Really, gentlemen, I think I'd better come back some other day without my stick pin.
We are awfully sorry, Mr. Vale. The money clip, of course. Show Mr. Vale our collection of money clips. If you will excuse me for just a minute.
Now, Mr. Vale, we have some very nice clips here. There's one that I think you especially might like.
Havermeyer speaking.
This Starling, I have good news for you. A man is here with a pearl that matches yours.
That's marvelous. You've got one?
Yes, I have.
What an amazing coincidence.
Yes, isn't it? His price is a little high.
Just how high?
It's $3,000.
Not a cent over $2,500.
I'll see what I can do, but I won't let him get away from us. That I promise you.
I trust you implicitly, Mr. Starling. Goodbye.
Mr. Vale, I've just contacted the gentleman who, to be perfectly frank with you, wants us to buy such a pearl as yours.
You have?
He has made a handsome offer, but one beyond which he will not budge.
And?
$1,500.
Cash?
Of course.
No, I don't think I...
And this is on the house.
Hendrik, forgive me. Good day, gentlemen.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Well, it's a pleasure to do business with people like Starling and Eccles.
More pleasure than profit.
Oh, now, Sam, we mustn't be greedy. Remember, we leave that to the customers.
How's your little granddaughter?
Wonderful. But she's getting to be a very bright little girl.
What's wrong about that?
Well, it frightens me a little. You know, she can practically read the funny papers all by herself now?
No fooling? That's great. You know, my favorite is Flatfoot Hogan.
Yeah, that's her favorite, too. But I'm thinking about the time when she can read the front page.
Oh. Yeah.
I wish I could retire, Sam.
Don't we all? But it takes big money to play that game, Jeff.
Yeah, but it has been done.
Whoa. Play that carefully, Brother Holden. You know, I'd like a place in the country, too. But I don't want a high stone wall around it.
Well, here's to life in the country.
Yeah. Any country.
Home is the sailor home from the seas, and the hunter home from the hills.
Welcome. Well, Cousin Jeffrey, aren't you glad to see me?
Hello, Elizabeth.
I suppose you're wondering how I got in. Little Susan and her nurse were just leaving as I arrived, and I told them I'd wait for you.
Oh, you did, eh? I thought you'd settled in Connecticut since your remarriage.
Time I had trying to find you, anyone would think you didn't want to see me anymore. I hope for your sake the police will have as much trouble. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up unpleasant memories.
You're looking well, Elizabeth. How is your husband?
Oh, you don't know, do you? Poor Wilton passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yes, he was such a young man for his age.
Well, he was a successful man, too, wasn't he? I mean, he left you well provided for, I trust.
That's the tragedy, Cousin Jeffrey. He was a castle built upon the sand. We were all shocked to find he was actually penniless.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it wasn't the money, Cousin Jeffrey. It was just that when Wilton passed away, I was so terribly lonely that in my loneliness I've turned to you.
Oh, I see.
You've a very nice place here. Much nicer than the one in Denver. You must be doing very well, huh?
You didn't come here because you were lonely. Last time I saw you, it cost me $2,000, and that was to be the final payment. Have you forgotten?
No, I haven't forgotten, Cousin Jeffrey. But I've got to have $5,000.
Well, you'll not get it from me.
But I need it.
I won't do it. I can't do it, Elizabeth. I have Susan to think of. Now, that should mean something to you. You're not just taking money from me. You're taking...
It's Grandpa. He's home.
Hello, darling. Well, give me a big kiss.
Welcome
That's
home.
my girl. Thank you, Corky.
Nice to see you again, Mr. Holden.
Well, Tim.
How was San Francisco?
Oh, you know, San Franciscans all over the place. Corky, I believe you've met my cousin Elizabeth.
Oh, yes. Mrs. Christians, this is Lieutenant Quayne.
Oh, Lieutenant, Army or Navy?
Police.
Police? Oh, Cousin Jeffrey, what have you been up to?
Oh, just keeping on the good side of the law. Oh, I'm sorry you can't stay, Elizabeth.
Oh, but I can.
Oh, well, that's fine.
Grandpa, where have you been?
Well, I've been right here waiting for you, young lady. But where have you been?
Are you teasing me?
Yes, Angel, I am.
We went to a Punch and Judy. I just loved it. Tim took us.
Tim? Well, let Tim. He knows how to treat a lady.
And I've been a good girl. Have I, Corky? Mm-hmm. And I've been a good girl in school, too.
In school? Oh, I'd forgotten. My little Susan in school. How do you like it, darling?
I love it. Oh, Grandpa, we draw tugboats. And I can draw the best tugboats. We're going to draw tugboats all year.
Well, I think that's wonderful. You know, if I'd had a good course in tugboat drawing, I would have amounted to something. Darling, I've got something for you. I forgot. Now, you sit here just a minute.
Well, how are the ABCs?
Oh, we don't do anything like that on tugboats.
No, I suppose not.
Arriving presents. Let's open them.
All right, darling, you may open yours. See you, Corky.
This is just like Christmas.
Tim, I gambled on you being here, and I can't resist a sure thing.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm sorry there isn't a present for you, Elizabeth.
Oh, never mind, Jeffrey. There'll be other times.
Have you peeked yet, darling? Let's see what it is. Come on.
I love it. Where'd you get him?
Well, I met him in a drugstore, darling, and he said that he'd be willing to be your dog until you could get a real one.
What beautiful leather.
Oh, well, that should be. You know what the fellow said?
What?
It was woven by Panama Indians with their heads underwater.
Oh, yeah.
I love him.
Do you, darling?
It's beautiful. Then Jeffrey always had good taste.
Thank you very much, Mr. Holden.
Oh, Tim, that's just something to put the police benefit tickets in.
You shouldn't have done it. Excuse me, I'm sorry to grab and run, but I've got to be on duty at 9. Good night, Miss Christians.
I'll walk to the door with you.
Good night, sir.
Good night, Tim. See you soon.
So long, Susan.
Can I take Tim to bed with me?
What?
That's his name. Timothy Corky Susan Holden.
Oh, that's his name. Well, I think you ought to tie him to the bedpost so he can guard you all night, huh?
It'll be way past your bedtime.
Is Cousin Elizabeth gonna stay with us?
Well, what gave you that idea, dear?
I don't like her.
Darling, you mustn't say rude things about people.
Oh, children are so refreshingly frank.
Come on, Susan. Tonight's been a special occasion, but you've got to go right to bed now.
Give me a good night kiss, Angel. That's the girl. Good night.
Say good night to Mrs. Christians.
Good night.
Good night, darling.
Now, Elizabeth, I think you'd better go.
You really care about her, don't you?
Well, of course I do.
Do you think you're doing the right thing for her?
What do you mean by that?
Well, don't you think she needs the guidance of a woman, well, one who isn't a paid hireling? After all, Cousin Jeffrey, blood is thicker than water. And now that my husband has left me, Susan would be a great comfort.
Elizabeth, if you think I'd let you have Susan, you're out of your mind.
It wouldn't have anything to do with it. Didn't you ever hear about juvenile courts? They take children away from unfit guardians. Not just grandfathers, but fathers and mothers. If you think that any judge would call you a fit guardian. Oh, I really must go. I've had such a pleasant visit, Cousin Jeffrey. Good night, Miss Corcoran.
Good night.
I'm stopping at the Stafford. You will get in touch with me, won't you? Good night.
Oh, I guess I better tuck Susan in, huh?
I'm afraid she might be asleep.
Oh. Well, good night, Corky.
Good night, Mr. Holden.
Evening, Lieutenant.
Evening, Lieutenant.
Doggone it, you may be going right. Good evening, Lieutenant, to my girl. What are you doing hanging around here anyhow?
I'm working.
Do you realize that someplace in this city at this very moment somebody's finagling an old lady out of her life savings?
San Diego. 2 bunco men work Starling and Eccles Jewelers with the double jewel swindle. The original pearl reappeared in the stick pin of the second accomplice, who sold the pearl and left with the empty mounting.
I can make a realer, horribler face than that.
Mr. Holden brought it back from New Orleans just the other day.
New Orleans. During Mardi Gras, the Glencoe Jewelry Company were victims of a false arrest swindle. The amount involved was $5,000. The con man did not fit the description of any of the fraternity known to the police.
Yes, I understand. But you will have him call me the moment he comes in, won't you? Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Come on, Grandpa.
Oh. Me big Indian chief.
Oh, no, Grandpa, the funnies.
Oh, yes, dear. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. Let's see, where were we here? Ah, Flatfoot Hogan.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Well, there he is, you see. He's walking down the street, nothing on his mind, and he turns the corner. Oh, what does he see? Fisheye and his gangsters. What does he do? He takes out his guns. Bang, 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 bang. They take out theirs. He's trapped. Yeah, but is he doomed?
No.
No, you're right, he isn't. No, because here comes help. Help is coming by Little Gumshoe, his Indian aide, in a helicopter. There it comes, you see. And there. He's shouting down to him. He's shouting down. Flatfoot, he's shouting. But Flatfoot can't hear him because of the guns, you see.
What's a helicopter?
What?
What's a helicopter?
It's a flying machine.
Oh.
Yes. Well, now there's Little Gumshoe, you see. He's walking along the ledge. There he is. See, he's in jeopardy. Will he fall or... Hello, Manning. Yes, I have to see you on some legal advice. I'd like to come right now if I can. All right, thank you very much. Goodbye. Darling, Grandpa's got to go downtown now, so we'll take this along and we'll find Corky, and she can read all the rest of it to you, huh? Did you know that I'm not her only relation?
I didn't know that.
Yes, well, there's a distant cousin of some sort.
Oh?
Yes, and Manning, she's threatening to take the child away from me.
Oh, I see. Susan's well cared for. She goes to school. She's happy with you.
Of course she is.
Well, then it's going to take more than inclination on the part of this distant cousin to take her away.
Well, what do you mean by more?
Oh, evidence of unfitness on your part. Confirmed alcoholism, for instance. Or mental incompetence. Or conviction of a crime. That reassure you?
Yes.
There you are, Geoffrey.
Elizabeth?
I was so lonely at the hotel, I told Miss Corky here not to treat me like company. Just to go ahead with whatever she was doing. After all, I told her I am family.
If you'll excuse me, I'll see about dinner.
I thought I'd make a little sweater for Susan.
What are you doing here, Elizabeth? Why didn't you wait until I sent for you?
I told you. I'm lonely.
All right, you've told me. How much is it going to cost to relieve your loneliness?
Oh, do you think that money can take the place of a little child's laughter?
Oh, stop that, Elizabeth. How much?
$10,000.
How much?
But if prices the way they are now, that'll help me out for a year or so. But if I had $25,000...
You know I haven't got that kind of money.
Probably not, but you could get it.
I'll see you dead first.
Very well. I don't know, but I wouldn't rather have Susan than the money anyway. She's bound to come to me when you die, so she might just as well get used to living without you now.
When I die?
You will die, Cousin Geoffrey, and before me, too. I'm younger than you are, and I've lived a cleaner life. By the way, how's your heart? Has it been troubling you lately? You won't mind if I don't stay for dinner, will you? Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Geoffrey.
Isn't your cousin staying for dinner?
No, dear. She has something.
Oh. Come on, Corky.
Hello.
Won't you join our tea party?
I'd love to, dear, but I haven't got time today. I've got to go out of town again.
Well, you just came home.
Yes, I know. Go on, you run along and have a nice tea party.
Come on, Corky.
Hello?
Elizabeth, this is Jeffrey.
Oh, how are you?
I've made a decision.
You've got the money?
No, but I'm getting it.
Of course.
You must stay away from the apartment until I call. You understand?
Yes.
Hello, yes? Yes, this is Mr. Anthony Wilson. I'd like a reservation on the Sacramento plane.
Very nice. How much is it?
250.
Mr. Forbes, the telephone. For you, sir. It's
Yes?
Mr. Anthony Wilson. Mr. J.L. Clark's personal secretary.
Oh, will you excuse me, sir?
Yes.
Have you found something that appeals to you, sir?
Well, we were just discussing this piece.
Yes, Mr. Wilson. Oh, an anniversary gift for Mrs. Clark? Oh, how nice. Bracelets. Oh, what a fortunate selection.
We thought so.
About how much would Mr. Clark wish to spend?
Price is no concern of Mr. Clark's. You should know that.
We are just about to close the shop, but I'll have the package sent over in our delivery car. You'll put them in the safe?
The butler will put them in the safe.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Thank you. Good day, sir.
Yes.
Hi, chum.
The name is Smedley.
It's a package from Duval AC, Smedley. Sign here. Lock it in the safe till old man Clark gets home.
It's not necessary for you to explain my duties. Yes.
Mr. Clark, please.
Mr. Clark is out of town.
Oh, well, then you'd be the one to help me if you'd be so kind. You see, one of our delivery wagons left a package of jewelry here by mistake a couple of hours ago.
And what are your delivery wagons?
Oh, I beg your pardon. It's Duval AC.
But you're not the man who delivered the package. He was an uncouth lout.
Oh, I'm afraid that might be Edwards. I hope you'll accept my apologies for him. No, I'm Mr. Forbes, the assistant manager.
Oh, and what can I do for you, Mr. Forbes?
Well, we find ourselves in a rather embarrassing position. You see, that package was intended for Mrs. Julia Corey Clarkson, and that Edwards delivered it here. If you'd be kind enough to give it to me, I'll have to deliver it.
I'm afraid that would be impossible, Mr. Forbes. My instructions were to lock it in the safe.
Well, I don't think you quite understand. You see, Mr. Clark didn't order it.
Well, in that case, just a moment. Mr. Forbes, you were right. I telephoned Mr. Clark and he did not order any jewelry. As a matter of fact, Mrs. Clark is on her way to Reno, and I'm afraid your firm has made a rather stupid mistake.
I'm afraid we have. Yes. You want a seat, won't you?
No. We just forget the whole thing.
Yes, well, thank you for your courtesy.
Not at all. Goodbye, Mr. Forbes.
Goodbye.
Hello?
Corky, I've got to see you right away. It's very important.
Oh, I'm just taking Susan for a walk. We can meet you.
No, don't bring Susan along. Look, couldn't you meet me in the drugstore?
Well, why don't you go up to the apartment?
No, I don't want to come to the apartment. I'm sorry, baby. I guess I'm in something of a lather today.
Okay, Tim. I'll see you in the drugstore.
Fine. Meet you there in 30 minutes.
Okay. I saved a seat for you, Tim.
You have.
Coffee, no cream.
Where's the fire?
Darling, I want you to resign your job with Holden.
What for?
Corky, your boss is a man of great charm, great generosity. But yesterday, I'm afraid he might be a crook.
A crook? That's a pretty awful thing to say, Tim.
Things add up. When he was in New Orleans, a charming, distinguished gentleman pulled a false arrest swindle. Remember the Mardi Gras mask?
Yes.
Well, he told me he hadn't been there for years. Then, when he went to San Francisco, a double jewel swindle was pulled in San Diego. You remember the wallet he gave me? Came from the men's shop in the San Diego Biltmore. But that's not the real jam. Yesterday, a really big-time job was pulled on Duval's Sea in Sacramento. The butler at the house got a good look at one of the men, and the description fits Holden like a glove.
You mean to say you've been investigating him all this time and you never said a word to me?
Well, how could I? I shouldn't be telling you now, except I want you to clear out of there.
Just like that?
Yes. The butler from Sacramento will be here tomorrow night. Is Holden back yet?
No.
Well, when he gets back, I'll have to bring the butler out to the house. And if Holden is the man, put him under arrest. And I don't want you to be there when that happens.
Why?
Well, it's not going to be a pleasant situation, not for anyone. It so happens that I'm in love with you.
Tim, I know you've got a job to do, and you're going to do it. I don't blame you. But I've got a job to do, too. Susan's my job, and I'm not walking out.
That doesn't make sense.
When you come for Holden, are you going to arrest Susan, too?
Of course not.
Then think what would happen to her.
I got to thinking of the idea we had the other day about retiring. I stumbled on something that might set us up to buy that place in the country.
Oh, no, thanks.
Wait till you hear the pitch. It's so big it frightens me. But I need an idea, and you're just the man to furnish one.
No, Sam, I'm sorry. I'm not interested at the moment in any proposition, hot or cold.
All right, Jeff. But it's a good one. If you change your mind, I'm at this number.
Come in.
Mr. Holden. Oh,
Oh, that's all right, dear. Mr. Havermeyer was just going. This is Miss Cochran, Susan's nurse.
How do you do, Mr. Havermeyer?
It's nice to meet you, Miss Cochran. Susan's a lucky girl. Well, so long, Jeff. Let me hear from you.
Yeah, I'll see you at the door.
You don't need to. I know the way. Good day, Miss Cochran.
Well, Corky, you look worried about something.
I am.
Well, sit down. Let's see what we can do about it.
I'd rather not, Mr. Holden.
Oh? What's on your mind?
Mr. Holden, before Susan started school, I had to fill out a registration blank for her teacher. There was a space for the occupation of parent or guardian. You were out of town at the time. How would you fill that in now? Honestly.
Why?
I just talked to Tim. He's working on a Sacramento jewel robbery. He thinks it's the work of a confidence man. Someone he knows. He'll have a witness here tomorrow night who can identify the man.
I should have figured on Tim. Does he know you're telling me this?
No. He didn't even want me to come back here.
But you came.
I know I'm betraying his trust and probably breaking a dozen laws. But I can't stand by and watch the world come falling down on Susan. I'm a nurse, Mr. Holden. And we were taught that our first responsibility is to our patient. Well, Susan is my first responsibility.
That's right.
Then there's Cousin Elizabeth. Does she know about your... Well, is she...
Corky, would you take Susan?
Of course I would.
All right. Then I'll make legal arrangements with Manning.
But wait a minute, Mr. Holden. You just can't will human beings, even with the best intentions. Your cousin Elizabeth is a blood relative, and any court would award Susan to her.
Yes, but suppose she was unable to take her.
Not even then. I know how those things operate. The agency and the judge have to approve.
Well, they'd certainly approve of you.
I'm afraid not. They don't approve of single girls adopting children.
I'm very grateful to you, Corky, and I want you to not worry about that Sacramento jewelry business and not worry about Elizabeth. I feel that the man who was clever enough to steal those jewels won't make the wrong move now. Is that agreed, Corky?
All right, Mr. Holden.
But you mean a juvenile court judge would take Susan, would take a child from someone she loved and who loves her, just because he decided that the guardian wasn't all he should be, even though it affected the child's happiness?
Like a shot.
Well, I guess that tells me what I want to know.
You sure there isn't anything else you'd care to tell me? I might be of more help.
No, you've been a great deal of help. Thank you, Mr. Manning. Good day.
Good day, sir.
Come in.
Well, what's this?
The Holden drugstore. Do you want anything?
Well, are you finished shopping, madam? Yeah, thank you. Now, let me see. I'd like a toothbrush. How much is that one?
$1 million.
1 million? Well, that's pretty high, but it's good quality, I see. I'll take it. Here you are. As a matter of fact, this looks so much like the one I used this morning, I think I'm going to like it. Now, what else have you got, madam?
I've got a very good music box and a comb and brush set.
Well, I do. Yes, I think I'll take those too. I'll take them. Give them to me, madam. Here you are. There's $14,800,000.
Thank you.
Now, let me see. Oh, have you got any dogs for sale?
No.
Well, what about this one?
Oh, he's my dog. I can't sell him, mister.
Oh, well, that's too bad. I wanted him for my little girl, Susan.
Oh, Grandpa, you know I'm Susan.
You are?
Didn't you know I was Susan?
Well, I do. Maybe if you give me a kiss, I could tell. Let's see. Yes, you're Susan. But the way you were selling off your toys, I didn't know for a minute. Why wouldn't you sell him?
Oh, he's my dearest treasure. I love him better than anybody. Except you, of course.
Well, doesn't Corky come in there somewhere?
Oh, yes. When you're away, all I have is Corky.
And do you love Corky?
I love Corky.
That's good. Angel, if you were left with Corky for a long time, would you like that?
And Tim, too?
Yes, Tim, too.
Then I'd like that.
Oh, that's good. Give me another kiss, darling. Thank you. Oh, I'm afraid I'm interrupting the march of trade here. Excuse me, sir. I think you were next, sir. There you are. It's been awfully nice doing business with you, madam. Goodbye.
Goodbye, sir. What would you like? I've got a very good music box and a comb and brush set. Thank you.
Hello, Sam. This is Jeff. There's been a change in my plans. I think I'm going to be interested in that proposition of yours. Can you come over? Tonight? All right.
Jeff, it's the most tantalizing thing you ever heard of. You know the Pacifica?
In the big liner?
Yeah, she's laying off the dock at Pier 251. Now, the boys that brought me this job have a contact on board, posing as one of the crew. He's got $5 million, the most wonderful money you ever saw. Counterfeit. From the Orient.
Counterfeit money, huh?
But we can't get the money off the ship. Customs guards, everything fenced in. Can't even get in the dock.
Counterfeit money.
Now, I'll deliver the money to the boys, but we need a man with your kind of talent.
What am I supposed to do?
Figure out how to get the money off the ship, through the guards, and off the dock.
Well, for how much?
$100,000.
In counterfeit?
Yeah, but the prettiest stuff you ever saw.
How's it wrapped? What's it look like?
In a box.
Box, huh? Huh.
Got any ideas?
Yeah, I think I have. It's amazing how $100,000,
$50,000 for you.
$50,000 will inspire you. It's a deal, Sam. I think I got something.
We gotta work fast. She's pulling out for Seattle tomorrow afternoon.
All right.
Good night, Jeff. See you tomorrow. Good night, Miss Corcoran.
Good night.
Good night, Sam. Corky,
Yes, Mr. Holden?
you've got to do something for me. I want you to go downtown tomorrow morning and buy a single passage on the Pacifica sailing for Seattle tomorrow afternoon.
Mr. Holden?
Now, Corky, we agreed that the man who was smart enough to steal those jewels wouldn't do the wrong thing now.
Yes, Mr. Holden. We agreed.
Good night, Corky.
Good night.
How are you making out that con man of yours?
He's not my con man. Unless I'm wrong, he's involved in something a lot bigger than that. Another night,
Got somebody tailing him?
Rick Roby is riding on his back like a papoose. If he has the Duval jewels and makes one false move,
If he's such a big-time operator, why aren't you tailing him yourself?
I can't. He knows me.
Oh.
Don't worry. Roby will keep me posted. And whichever way the old boy jumps, you can bet your life I'll be there.
Whoop. All right, tie it off. All right, the next mark will be about 10 feet from the ship. Go ahead, Eddie.
Okay.
Hey, what goes on here?
Huh? Oh, Bureau of Construction, Harbor District.
Oh.
Now, Ed, right through the fence there.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah. What's the reading?
226.
226. Okay, more to your left. To your left. To your left. Okay, hold it. Okay, there. Mark it off there. Mind if we leave this here a minute?
Well, if you leave it here, it's gonna...
Is that the mark?
Right.
How far down to the
25 feet.
25 feet, Eddie. Give it a...
Hey, Doc.
Yeah?
What's up?
Oh, just a little construction job.
We're certainly the last ones to find out.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Hello.
How are you?
What are those fellas up to?
What fellas?
Those men over there by the ship.
Oh, them. That's a surveying outfit.
Thanks.
No, you haven't got it yet. To the left a little. That's better. No, that isn't right yet. Go to the right. At 25 feet.
Right.
All right, mark it off. I'll see you later, Cap. Oh, all finished. Yeah. Oh, my men will be through here with some construction equipment in a little while.
Will you be with them?
Oh, sure, certainly.
Okay.
Lieutenant Quayne.
Roby. Holden's been surveying the municipal dock.
Surveying?
Yeah.
You mean he's looking it over?
No, with a transit and a tape. How should I know?
Okay, stay with him.
What's he doing?
He's surveying the municipal dock.
What's that the first move of?
I don't know. But I'm not going to stop him, not yet.
Probably going to put the dock up for sale. Going to ask for sealed bids. Needs true specifications.
It's a getaway. It's a brand new one on me.
Oh, be sure to let me know Roby's next communique.
Yeah, that's all right. Looks good. Everything's fine down the dock. You're sure that friend of yours in the ship's dependable?
Sure.
Now, you're clear on what you're going to do?
Send the bag.
All right. Have you got the exact description of that package?
Of course. Wait a minute. Here. 20 inches by 10 by 8. Wrapped in brown paper and tied with heavy cord.
What do you got in there?
What do you mean? Oh, in the package?
Yeah.
Oh, that copper wire and parts. Yeah, that's all stuff we need in here. Well, I see the boys are hard-at it.
Yeah.
Say, there'll be a truckload of sand come through, too.
It came already. I'll put it right over there.
Huh? Oh, thanks, Mac.
Hey,
Thanks
this is a fine time to be constructing anything with a ship loading.
Friend, I just obey orders. Same as you. That's fine. Pull out that fence and we'll dump the sand just inside. Hey! It's okay to let the truck pass through. We'll dump the sand here. Everything get here all right?
Yeah.
I'll start up your compressor and let's get set.
Okay.
All right, bring her back. Come on. Whoop, that's it. Whoop, hold it, that's it. All right, now dump it.
Lieutenant Quayne.
Lieutenant, you better get down here right away. This is getting to be too much for Mrs. Roby's boy. Holden has a whole construction crew. They're tearing up the dock.
I'll be right down. You get back where you can watch them. Want to come along? I'll give you Roby's communique on the way down to the dock. I want to get a ringside seat for this show.
I'd love to watch you work. Nothing like improving your mind on your day off.
Well, come on.
Okay.
Hi. I'm looking for, wait a minute. Construction crew. Bureau of Construction. Harbor District. Municipal dock.
Fellow with the brown leather jacket.
Brown leather jacket. Thanks. You the construction boss?
Yeah.
Sign here.
What for?
Package of parts. You ordered them, didn't you?
I not only ordered them, I brought them out with me.
How do you like that? Taking up my time. I'll take them back.
I'm sorry, friend. Mistakes will happen.
What's the matter?
He didn't need it. Picked the order up himself.
Yeah, I checked him in with it.
A lot of time wasted.
Well, that's life. "4:30 already, Joe. Short day, but something accomplished. I swear I couldn't tell whether this was wallpaper or the real stuff. This fellow's an artist, Sam.
It would fool me, Brother Holden. And I'm not exactly without experience in this particular branch of art. What's that?
Oh, just the boys knocking off for lunch.
Jeff, are you sure everything's still safe?
Oh, reasonably. Nobody seems interested in the remnants of our activities. Yet. But I don't think it'll be long.
You don't mind if I don't wait to see?
Oh, ma'am, whenever you want it, Sam. Now, Sam, you know the way out, don't you?
Down the back stairways to the basement, through the passage to the vacant buildings next door.
That's the boy. There you go.
Well, Jeff, we made some beautiful music in our time, but this...
Good luck to you, Sam, but be careful now.
So long, Jeff.
Yes, give me Excelsior 84321, please. That's right.
Hello?
Elizabeth, this is Jeffrey.
Oh, how are you?
I've got it.
You've got the money?
Yes? Can you meet me?
Of course.
I'm in the Harbor District, in the little hotel by the docks.
Yes. Where?
Well, Coach, what's the next play? Holden's objective must be to get the Duval jewels onto the boat, or they might be in that box. We'll know better when we find out if he's booked passage on the Pacific. But I don't understand what this construction scheme's about.
And he wasn't trying to hide his activities.
Either he's using sleight of hand, making me think of one thing, the Pacifica, while he plans something entirely different.
Quain, the only passage booked today was a single that was bought by a Miss Corrigan.
Well, this really is a family affair.
Keep your eye on this for me, will you?
Hello?
Corky, are you the Miss Corcoran who bought the ticket on the Pacifica?
Yes, Tim. I'll never be able to explain, but...
Never mind that now. Stay there. We're going to grab Holden.
But, Tim, you don't understand. There's much more to this. Cousin Elizabeth is...
Now, we'll talk about that later. Stay there. I've got to hang up now.
Oh, Tim!
Is that ticket for Holden?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what's in that box.
Let's not. Let's not act like cops for once. Don't you think this setup's being watched? We'll find out what's in the box when Holden gets back. The ship sails in half an hour. Roby certainly isn't going to let him get away from that hotel, get anywhere but to this dock.
Tim, my boy, I knew you wouldn't fail me. Oh, just a moment, please. Come in, Cousin Elizabeth.
This is a fine dive you brought me to.
I think this is the perfect atmosphere for our kind of transaction. Sit down, won't you?
Well, I won't be here long.
Nor will I. I have a ticket here on the Pacifica sailing for Seattle out there in about 15 minutes. I got a little close to the fire getting this money for you. I got to leave the country for a year or two.
Oh, we shall miss you.
So I hope with the police.
Let's get down to business.
Very well. I think you'll find this right. $15,000.
15,000?
Yes, that's enough to pay your dues in the Blackmailers Union, and a very tidy sum to boot.
Our understanding was 25,000.
This is our understanding, Elizabeth. I can't give you any more money.
Why not?
You must realize what I had to go through to get this kind of money for you.
Yes, that doesn't concern me.
Well, perhaps not. But I need this, all of it, to keep clear of the police.
How much have we got there?
Well, not that it's any business of yours, but it's a bare $35,000, and I have a partner to share with.
Well, I think your version of this arrangement is backwards, Jeffrey. I believe I should take the $35,000.
You'll take what I've given you, and that's final.
How dare you? How dare you argue with me? You who've disgraced us over and over again, how dare you? I won't stand for it. It's outrageous and I won't have it.
Now, you can take that or leave it or do what you will, but it's positively the last you'll ever get from me.
Indeed. You just try leaving me with a measly $15,000 and you'll see what'll happen to you when you get off the boat at Seattle.
No, I thought of that. And if you ever dare interfere with me again or with Susan, I've made arrangements. I have some friends who can eliminate you.
Huh?
Yes, Elizabeth, you've reached the end of your rope. But for me, that ticket means freedom. And so my unpleasant relative, I'm going aboard the Pacifica, and you can go to the devil.
What's the matter?
Hand me those pills, Elizabeth, right there. Please. I've tried to.
But instead, you've given me $50,000. And a wonderful idea. I'll take your ticket. You won't need it. Wish me bon voyage, Jim.
Certainly is going to have time to get near that sand pile. Beginning to wonder if he's going to show it off. Uh-oh. What? The dame with the hat. Yeah? Holden palmed her off as his cousin. If she gets on the ship, you can be sure she's tied into this.
Here she comes. I'd better go up with you.
All right, Inspector.
Come on in, Tim.
Hello, Mr. Holden.
Hello, son.
Do you mind if I...
No, that's all right. I'll wait in the hall.
Mr. Holden, we just picked up your cousin Elizabeth.
Yes, I know. I saw it. It's a great pity. First slip Elizabeth's made in 40 years. Finest accomplice I ever had.
It's very difficult for me, Mr. Holden. Things ending this way.
Well, a little difficult for me arranging it.
There's one thing I'd like to ask you. You don't have to answer.
You mean these? Ought to be a very nice reward in it, Tim. But if I were you, I'd insist on taking it out in trade. On one of their better wedding rings.
Corky?
Well, who else?
Susan goes with the deal?
Tim, Susan is the deal. Is it a pinch?
That's the boy.
Oh, wedding present.
Before we go, do you mind if I ask you why you dumped that stuff on the municipal dock and had a construction gang?
Ah, now that, my boy, is a trade secret. Well, I'm sorry to kept you waiting, young man. We've been,
To my
ladyship,
Susan
queen
of
my heart.
Read it to me, Corky.
All right. My darling Susan, to her ladyship Susan, queen of my heart, and empress of my dreams, defender of the faith and guardian of all the lovely, lost and never known delights, on her 6th birthday, greetings and the blessings of God upon you.
I've gone on a very, very long trip. But I leave you for this important day a gift so rare that even I would not attempt to offer gold for it. Father and a mother. Turn around and say hello to them. Give them my love. Love and kisses, Grandpa.
For truly?
Yeah.
She's all right, Jeff. She's all right.
Well, of course she is. You know, about this time, she's sitting in the library reading Flatfoot Hogan.
Yeah. Fine officer, Hogan. He'd approve of our style of travel today.
Give me 2.
2 to you.
The only thing I don't like about it, Sam, is that they picked you up. I hadn't planned it that way.
Don't let that worry you, Brother Holden. After all, it was my idea in the first place.
It looks like we're going to get that place in the country.
Yeah, an island with a nice view of the bay. But it has those high stone walls around it. The only thing I would like to know is, how did this dame get in the act?
That's a long story, Sam, and I'm afraid I'm going to have plenty of time to tell it to you. I'll raise you.
Call.
Did you stack the deck?
Didn't have to stack it. Straight.
You should have.